Hello everyone and welcome to TTML Sim 1 Season 1 Round 7 for the Japanese GP. I am PepsiBig212 aka ROP aka Yuki. You can call me whatever you like, but we're here for a Japanese GP here today on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. And in game will be a very beautiful, beautiful Sunday as well. And I think that'll basically do it for the introduction, so let's quickly go over the standings and constructors before we get ready to start a race here. Quick update on the standings here today. Harry still leads the championship with 282 points, followed close behind by Kaiser with 256, and 80 Scott with 216. And with about 3 rounds to go after this United States GP, the Brazil GP, and the Abu Dhabi GP, it's probably a 3-horse race. But there is still a chance Foxy Red and Funky Chicken could close that gap if chaos happens up front, but it's probably a 3-horse race for the top. Looking at the constructor standings after the Belgian GP, the Mercedes-AMG currently leads the way in the constructors with 367 points, with AlphaTauri at 303 and Red Bull Racing at 282, Aston Martin at 242, and Ferrari at 235. Again, a little bit of a breakaway at the top. It looks like it's going to be a 2-horse race between Mercedes and AlphaTauri, but you could also maybe sneak the Red Bulls in there, because Harry does lead the driver standings, and if he can get a driver to consistently show up in the last 3 rounds, one of the reserve drivers take the Red Bull seat, you could say, he could at the very least claw his way up to the top, but we'll have to wait and see on that front. But that will do it for the standings. We have 2 seconds left here, and we will get ready to qualify. Remember, it is one-shot qualifying, then it's a race, and then we do this whole thing over again with another one-shot qualifying and another race. The dry weather will be great here today, and if you remember from the TTML sim racing, it can be a very tricky track, because this S section is very hard to get the car planted through, and it's very, like, if you over-push, the car will spin. If you under it, you'll be a little bit too slow. So a lot of these drivers may be going for an aggressive line, an aggressive strategy, and it may end up costing them on the qualifying run or the race. We're going to see at least a handful of spinners here today, even though it's not wet. So here we go. We got 8 seconds left, and we will get ready to go. So anyway, here we go. Run down, long down, past the Ferris wheel, going down the run to the line here. We're going to be on board with the hometown boy, Mashiro, to start. Going off to the long run to turn 1 here. Going to put up the track map real fast. There we go. So Mashiro, the hometown boy, is going to be going down off the quarter 1 here at Fox Red. Currently leads the way with Nightshades and Funky Chicken at first. Then going up through the S section here. Going to have to plant the car right, or else you will get in validation, or even worse, hit the tire walls. It's still Fox Red that leads the way with Funky Chicken second, and Nightshades in third, Kermit in fourth. No sign of the 2 championship leaders yet. Harry and Kaiser, they're currently 5th and 6th respectively. As we get up to the top of the S section, Foxy Red and his Ferrari still leading the way at the end of sector 1 here. But now it looks like, updating now, Harry B has actually jumped up with Kaiser. Maybe I don't know if it's a slight glitch, but he fell from 1 to 5 relatively quickly there. So it's a bit odd, but Harry B now leads the way with Kaiser in second, and Labuta in third, with ADB Bottle and Fox Red 4 and 5 respectively. Kaiser's going to lead through the hairpin, and Harry B back and forth here, one and after another. It looks like they're very close on times right now. Long run down the long straight past the Rolex side. You're going to come into the sweeping left, and then you're going to have a long run up the 130R. Kaiser is still leading the way with Harry B, and it looks like Harry B had it just for a second. You got Scott in 5th right now. He's working his way up to the line as well. It looks like Fox Ray didn't validate, so Scott up to 5th. Down the long line, Labuta in the Aston Martin is currently in second with Scott in 4th. Past 130R, it's still Kaiser leading the way. Can he keep his nerve? Who will take it flat? It looks like Kaiser takes it relatively well. No invalidations. 2 corners to go through the hairpin. Labuta now takes over pole position. Harry second. Kaiser really bunged up the end section there. It looks like he'll still hold, or he went a little too cautious into the inline, and it's going to be Kaiser with pole position, followed closely behind by Labuta, Harry in 3rd, Scott 4th, Bottle in 5th, Chicken in 6th, Mashiro in 2nd, Nightshades in 8th, Kermit in 9th, and Bob O'Reilly, my commentator in crime, for TTML Sim F2, you could say, in 10th. Or just got disqualified. So that will be that for qualifying. And we'll just take a quick look at the final results. Yep, those 2 Spaniards take over the top positions here with Kaiser and Labuta in 2nd, Harry in 3rd, Scott in 4th, Bottle in 5th, Chicken in 6th, Mashiro in 7th, on the mediums no less. Interesting strategy call there. Nightshades in 8th, Kermit in 9th, and rounding out the disqualifications are Bob O'Reilly, Fox Red, and Charlie Harris, with Mike and Nathan and Honey Badger and Conti all not setting times. It's a little bit of a mixed bag here. It's going to be very interesting. So right now, I believe, I'm not remember correctly, there is no points for pole position. That would have been the F2 league last season. So no points for pole. But we are going to see a good race here. It looks like Kaiser is going to at least be, you could say at least have the advantage going into the race. Yep, no pole for fast lap. I'm correct. So yep, seconds left here. and we will get ready to go. So yeah, if you are currently watching in the chat right now, thank you for joining us. If you like what you see, you can subscribe to League Racing TV, where there's tons of other leagues that run, including BNPL, which just ran Saturday and Sunday, CWC, which is on an off week tomorrow, but will resume at the Portugal GP on next Monday. I will be doing commentary for that as well, for F2. And you also got F1 as well. And then you got TTML that runs Thursdays and Fridays. So find a league you like, you can subscribe. And I think signups are also going to be starting soon for TTML as well. So if you are a driver that kind of looks like for a league and you want to see if you can get on the grid, let at League Racing TV know on Twitter, and they'll try to point you in the right direction. But anyway, that will be that. We got 27 seconds. You can see the cars jumping down like they're jumping up and down here. Very interesting indeed. This game always seems to have interesting bugs when least you expect them. But yeah, got 14 seconds left here. This should be a very interesting race. Can Kaiser keep his nerve and close the gap in the point standings, or will Harry B keep his gap going and be able to go strong to this race? Only time will tell. And if you are watching, why not throw your predictions down in the chat for the first race here? Personally, for me, I'll take a quick look at the results one more time, but I feel like top three looks pretty strong, but I think Scott's always something that kind of comes in late. So I'm going to go Kaiser with the victory. I'm going to probably go Harry second. No, Scott second, Harry third. That will be my top three here today, for at least the first race. Quick check of the tires as well. We got an interesting different strategy here. It looks like the medium softs, it's a 25% race, so the one stop is the ideal strategy, obviously, unless you break your wing. But no safety cars as well, so if you do break your wing, you're kind of up the creek paddle, you could say. But Mashiro is the only driver in the top 10 on his set. Well, I guess you could say also Bob O'Reilly, but he didn't set a time. So drivers that set a time, Mashiro's the only one that qualified on a set of mediums in the Haas. Bob O'Reilly selected to go on a set of mediums along with Charlie Harris, Nathan, Honey Badger, and Conti. Only Mike and Fox Red outside the 10th on back have decided to elect to start on a set of soft tires. It's a little bit of an odd strategy because it does look like going longer in the tooth is the ideal strategy if you're farther back to get up through the grid. While if you're up at the top, it's better to probably, because obviously you qualify on a set of softs, it's better to say out of soft to medium strategy. So track position does matter a little bit. It is a little bit of a harder circuit to pass, as Conti is disqualified for colliding with Mike. And they'll both be sitting in the naughty stool in the principal's office as they wait for the rest of the drivers to finish up their little recess lap here. But the only real major opportunities to pass here are the run up to 130R, where you can get a good run if you save your ERS and you have ERS onto a run here, and the long straight. Other than that, there's a couple bearing places you could throw it if you're really daring, like the hairpin as well. But most of the time you're going to see a pass through here or the long straight. Those are your two major passing opportunities you're going to see here in today's race. But anyways, the drivers are coming around the last couple laps here. It looks like Foxy Red has also collided with Nathan, if I'm not mistaken. So they also are going to have a slight mistake here. They're also going to have to wait at the start-finish straight. But luckily, the lap's almost done. So other than maybe the tires being a little bit more cold, a little less cold than Conti and Mike, they're still going to have to wait for everyone else to come around. But here comes Kaiser, about to slot into the grid here along with the Alfa Romeo driver. And we'll be getting ready to go in about probably 30 seconds. Wait for everyone to kind of slot in here. Wait for Honey Badger. He's the last driver here. Still very interesting camera when they do the run up here. Nice shot of the helmet you can see. But here he goes. Slots in. Last driver going to line up here. That he will. All right. We're going to cut back to the leader here, and we are going to get ready to go. Nice little cuts here. Checking on the lefts and rights. Honda car currently on pole position here. Hoping to make the Japanese fans faithful in the virtual Honda. There's also Honda in third, so Honda looking to have a strong day here today. But anyway, we got 5 red lights here. There we go. There's the camera I'm looking for. And away they go. Relatively quick lights there, and it looks like it caught the Alfa Romeo driver out napping there, and he also kind of takes advantage. Actually, he's already down to 6th, 7th, 8th. Very horrendous start for a second on the line in the front row of the grid. He really got bogged down there, as it looks like he's already down to 7th here. Looks like everyone else is relatively okay for the most part, so no major collisions, but that is going to put Scott up to second, because his line, he was able to quickly jump around. Other than that, everyone else is relatively good. No mistakes in the S section here. And yeah, I think we are relatively good. So yeah, only mistake there was for some reason the Alfa Romeo driver just got bogged down. And that's going to give at least a half a second lead to AD's Kaiser over Scott. Harry B in third, Bottle in fourth. Funky Chicken back this week after an absence last week here, looking to have a nice strong race here today. Yellow flag sector 2. It looks like it is going to be Mike. He's lost the back end. I don't know 100% if he collided with Bob O'Reilly here. He does look like he's missing his end plate, so there could have been at least a slight touch or something, but no front wing, so both commentators have come to blows. So a bit of an omen, you could say. But back up to the front here, Charlie Harris is making a move on Kermit, and he will successfully make the pass. So put Harris up to 9th, put Kermit down to 10th. Foxy Red also going to try to make a pass on the Alfa Romeo, who is on the front row of the grid, mind you, and he's going to try to hang in around 130R here. Can he keep his nerve? Who will lift? Who will hold? It's going to be the Ferrari, cutting a little bit of a squeeze on Labuta, and it's going to put Foxy Red up to 7th, and going to put a Alfa Romeo driver down to 8th. So a horrendous start indeed, as Kaiser will start the fast lap, and now he's coming to the pit, so I did think he hit the wall. If you remember, take it back, he did kind of clip the wall a little bit, so maybe he does have some damage. So we'll ride on board real fast, see if he's going to get a front wing change, because I doubt this is part of the plan. Yeah, it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, there's a front, yep, there's a replacement front wing coming, so just a horrendous. Even Honey Badger as well kind of had a mistake as well, so 4 drivers had mistakes on that opening lap. Anyway, back to the battle here for the lead, you could say. We got Scott still about half a second behind, Harry within that coattail range as well. So top 5, all you could say in a DRS train, with Foxy Red being the first breaker, as we do have a 8th here. We do see Yellow Flag Sector 1, that is going to be Charlie Harris wrong way around. So I don't think he got any help. We'll check to see if he's got any particles missing. I was going to check, but then we got AWS kind of popped up at the bad time there. Looks like his wing is fine, so I think he just went a little bit too wide. But I'm not mistaken, Nathan did pass. No, Foxy Red. No, yeah, it was Nathan that passed, I think, a Night Chains, if I'm not mistaken. Yellow Flag Sector 1 again. That is also the Alfa Romeo. He is really struggling for a driver that put it. I hate to keep harping on it, but he is really struggling for a driver that put it on the front row of the grid. So anyway, though, back to the point. We still got Scott, again, slowly closing in on Kaiser here. Check out the telemetry here would indicate that we got 64% for Scott and about 67% for Kaiser. So a little bit of a differing, I would say differing, but it's actually about the same. So it looks like Scott's going to use some of his DRS to try to get close. DRS is enabled, but it won't be on this long straight. But Bottle will send the fast lap of the race, and now Kermit gets 3 for multiple warnings. And it looks like Mashiro is pitting, so the hometown boy, or I was going to say, I would not say hometown, but I'd say home country boy, is going to have to pit here. I think it's going to be for a change of wing. I'll quickly just check because no pass up to will happen. It looks like it actually may be scheduled. I'm not 100%. I don't see a wing change, so we'll have to just see how his time slot out. Maybe it's a bit early, but we'll have to wait and see. He was on a set of mediums, though, so it had to be for a wing change. But anyway, Kai still leads the way. This really, again, the closest thing we have to track. Everyone else is pretty spaced out for the most part in the back. So, yeah, closest we have right now on the circuit. Can Scott throw a move up into the hairpin here? We've seen some drivers do it when they sense something, but it doesn't look like he'll try it. He'll just tuck back in line. It did look like he was at least thinking about it, but probably wasn't close enough. But I do sense a move possibly going to 130 yard, because it looks like Scott is really stronger on the straights at the very least, because he's really getting to the back of him. So it thinks his car is maybe just set up a little bit better than Kaiser, or maybe Kaiser's taking it a little bit more conservatively. But it looks like, because then, yeah, it looks like Kaiser got a little bit better advantage in that corner there. But here comes Scott. Can he get a run? We'll ride on board with Harry B. We'll see it just off in the distance. Can Scott try something? He'll definitely have a move on the long straight if he waits it out. But yeah, it looks like he'll just be close enough, but not anything to really make something happen. He looks like he fakes in, but goes back out. So kind of just letting Kaiser know, if you leave it open, I'll think about it. But I sense he will kind of just make a quick move here. As we can see, yeah, he's got ERS activated. He's also got DRS activated. And it looks like it'll be a quick pass from the Mercedes driver around the outside. Can he pass the AlphaTauri? Yes, he can, going into the S section. And that will be him. Put Scott up to first. Kaiser down to second. He did use a lot of ERS as well to make a move happen. As now it looks like we do have pit stops, as Chicken is coming in along with Nathan. So looking for the undercut in those softs just to make sure, yeah, they are pitting. No tire wing changes, no collision. So it is a situation where they're trying to go for the undercut here to try to jump this pack, because Chicken was just on the back of this train. So he is thinking, if he can, maybe use this open space to try to make something happen. But Chicken is just going to come out ahead of Mashiro. And Mashiro is just going to come out, I'm going to say just ahead. He's 3 clear. So, well ahead of Mashiro. But he's going to be only about a second behind Harris, though. So, if Harris holds up Chicken, it could be a situation where he could be a little bit slower. Actually, sorry, that's not getting held up. My mistake. Looking at the numbers, I got a little confused. Chicken is actually 8 behind, so my mistake on that one. Yellow Flag Sector 2, though, it looks like that is going to be the... Actually, it is Kermit, so Kermit's going to be a little bit slow off there. It looks like he went a little too wide with the hairpin, and he'll get it refired, though. So back to the battle here. We'll see if Kaiser can make any chance to make a move on Scott. Looks like he's just kind of struggling here. Harry B not going to be close enough to make anything happen. Looks like a top 3 breakaway. ADRT Bottle is there, but he's without 1 second, though, so it should be a pull away here. We'll see if any driver decides to counteract what Chicken did for the undercut here as Harris has passed County, and it looks like Kaiser going for the undercut here. He's going to be pitting on lap 5, while Scott, Bottle, and Harry are all going to stay out for 1 extra lap along with Foxy Red. So they're all going 1 extra lap here. Nightshade's also coming in as well. So a little bit of a different strategy. Definitely going to put on a set of mediums here, but the undercut is the strategy of Kaiser's choice here. Can he make it work? As now Conti gets 3 for multiple warnings. Charlie Harris going to pass Kaiser on track. I think Kaiser's going to come out with a lot of clean track here. We'll see. You can see a car just up the road there. It's going to be Bunky Chick. It's actually Kermit, my mistake. And Kermit is going to come out just ahead of Kaiser. So it's a situation where Kaiser could be affected on his undercut here if he can't make quick work, because he has to have a quick outlap. And Kermit probably just kind of picked him, metaphorically speaking. And he's just trying his hardest to get around. He has to be aggressive here, and he's going to cut the grass just a little there. Going to make it work. A little bit of a pass on the grass. Wheels were on the grass. Knew he had to make it happen, and Kermit will get the pass. Now, Kermit's going to have... Kaiser's going to have some clean track here. Can Kaiser use this clean track to his advantage? They get the undercut to work. Back to the battle here in the top 3. Nothing else really to report. Harry B's about 5 tenths off. I am having a rough day with words here today. Harry B is 5 tenths off Scott, or half a second, you could say. Bottle's about a second behind Scott. So he's a second behind Harry. God. Anyway, though, got to slow down my words here. But here comes Harry, very aggressive, almost kind of hits the back of Scott. Going to cost us some time here. And it looks like Scott coming in. We also got Harry B coming in, Bottle coming in. Foxy Red is going to have to stay out because of the undercut. And that will be that. So we'll see. The next question is, did Kaiser do enough to make the undercut work? So there goes Scott. Harry going to come out just behind. We're going to ride aboard here with Kaiser. He's only through the hairpin right now. I don't think it's going to be enough, but we'll have to see here. Long run down. Keep an eye on the right of your screen. They still haven't left pit road yet. Still haven't yet. Not have left the line. You're going to see up the road here. There is Harry B. There is Scott. So the undercut has successfully worked. Kaiser has retaken the lead. So that little held by Kermit was not enough to affect Kaiser. So Scott will come out second. Harry B. third. Bottle fourth. Chicken has just recaught the back of this train. So that undercut really didn't help him that much. He's kind of just held neutral. Looking at who is not pit, the only driver I don't think has pit yet is Charlie Harris, who's on a set of mediums, so he's going to go a little bit longer, and Foxy Red. So Foxy Red should probably be coming in this time by, but Charlie Harris will stay out for at least another couple laps. So we'll have to wait and see on that front. But right now, de facto lead will go to Kaiser when everything shakes out at the end of this pit stint, you could say. So yeah, basically now it looks like Chicken's lost a little bit of touch. We do have a yellow flag in the sector. I think that is Nathan Berserk going a bit slow. I didn't see any real spin or anything, but he was just going a bit slow, so maybe he did go a little wide, clip the grass, cause a light line there, but he wasn't wrong way around, though, so at least he's got it kept in the right direction, you could say. Anyway, back to the battle here up the front. Scott is a little bit faster than Kaiser because he was able to kind of pull him and keep the distance, so we know Scott has a little bit faster of a run, and we also know that Scott has 1 lap fresher mediums than Kaiser, so we'll have to wait and see when he makes his pass. Can he make something happen here? He's within 3 tenths. It is reasonable, but it doesn't look like he's going to use the ERS. Fast lap to the race to Kaiser. Yellow flag sector 2. It looks like Mike and Bob O'Reilly. It looks like Bob O'Reilly has spun, but it passed for the lead here. They're going to be still side by side. Can the AlphaTauri driver hold around the outside? No, he cannot. Scott going to keep his nerve, and he's going to hold the spot. So put Scott up to second. Kaiser down to third. Kaiser probably not a little too thrilled about that. Maybe a little bit of a pinch, but that is racing. Did not force him off too much. It was just running out of real estate. One driver was going to have to concede, and the outside was not the preferred situation. So Scott going to hold it and put Scott up to the lead. Kaiser to second. Oh, sorry. Put Scott up to the de facto lead because he's only 1.2 behind his teammate who is not pitted yet. So basically will be the lead when Charlie Harris has to pit. So Scott is de facto leader. Kaiser will be de facto second. Harry be de facto third. But right now they're 2, 3, 4 with Bottle just on the back of this train. So for the win in this race, it's going to be basically a 4-car fight for the win here between Scott, Kaiser, Harry, and Bottle, as Chicken has kind of lost touch to the rest of the field. Oh, sorry, the rest of this pack, you could say. Other than that, again, this is also the closest we have on circuit. Everyone else is about 2 to 3 seconds. Everyone else is pretty spaced out. So, yeah, only place on track where it's this close. Scott Gonna catch his teammate Charlie Harris. If Harris was gonna be a smart man here, he'd back up and let Scott go, which he's going to do, and then be a little bit of a diva, you could say, and be a little bit of a pick for Kaiser here. So it's going to be Kaiser, going to make quick work. Harry B going to try as well. Kaiser going to try to stick it around the outside here. Will Harris fight? He was probably not forced out here, but here comes Kaiser. He's going to have to try to make a pass here. Doesn't want to go side by side through the S's. Yellow flag sector 2, not important, as it's going to be Kaiser going to have to stick behind Harris through the S section here, and that's going to allow Scott time to run away. So Kaiser, basically Scott is using his teammate to his advantage here. This is why it's good to have friends, you could say, in certain situations, because there's nowhere for Kaiser to go. He's just getting cost time here, and he's probably getting a little bit impatient. This is NASCAR, you could say the chrome horn will be coming out, but this is F1. He's just going to have to tuck in behind, as that's also going to cause Harry B and Bottle to get kind of bottled up as well, you could say, as Mike has now retired from the race. I think he has crashed on circuit. Yes, he has. No safety cars, obviously, but Scott is going to be well over 1 second clear, and there's still no sign of Kaiser being able to get around. So Scott is using this to a T. He is running away and going to make this work, much to Kaiser's chagrin. And at least I'd say Harry's at least a little bit okay with this because of his big points lead. Even if Kaiser finishes ahead of him, it's only going to be 5 points instead of 10 if Kaiser was to win this race. Again, Kaiser, nowhere to go, not close enough to make a move on Charlie Harris, and it's going to allow Harry B to catch up instead. So can Kaiser, how aggressive will Kaiser be this time by, knowing he has to make quick work of Charlie Harris because Scott is getting away? He's now out of DRS range. So here comes Kaiser, and if Kaiser doesn't make it work here quick, it's probably going to be Harry B making something happen as well. But with no DRS, Charlie Harris kind of weaving, you could say, a little bit there. Stewards may take a quiet look, but here comes Kaiser. Harry B going to be a little bit impatient as well. Harris going to have the inside line. Can he hold the position? Harris wrong way around, and Harris is spun it. He has clipped the corner. Does not take him out because of ghosting, but Kaiser is going. Because honestly, if that was a real race situation, Charlie Harris would have just backed in the Kaiser, and 2 races would have been done for the price of 1, and Harry B would have been smiling to the bank because that would have been the points lead growing by an insurmountable margin with 3 rounds to go. At the very least, that would have been basically almost no points for Kaiser, and it would have been Harry B getting at least 25 points. So, but luckily the ghosting has saved Kaiser here today. But Harry B still in 3rd, Bottle still in 4th. But that again, can now Kaiser chase down Scott? ERS says that Kaiser's got about 20%, Harry B's at 73, Bottle's at 19, and Scott's at 43. So Harry B has saved a lot of ERS, so he should be faster on the straight, much to the chagrin of Kaiser. Coming to the line this time, we will have 4 to go. So the question mark of the day is, can Harry B, can Bottle, can Kaiser catch the leader? Or will this be Scott's race to lose? We'll have to wait and see here. It does look like they're about holding station, though. Just farther distance, so we will cut to it in a second here because it looks like a little bit of a breakaway. Fox Red all over the back of Foxy Chicken. Can the Ferrari make a pass on Foxy Chicken here as well? We'll keep an eye on both intervals. I don't think Harry B will be closer to make something happen, but here comes Foxy Red. Gonna pass Funky Chicken like he's standing still as Charlie Harris has finally decided to come in the pit. So Foxy Red at the 5th, Chicken down to 6th, and Charlie Harris pitting and will fall down at least to 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. So going long would have maybe worked if he didn't spin, but sadly he'll be far back in the points, far back in the tumbleweeds before he comes out. We also got Charlie Harris. We also got past here in the back here, as we do got the Alpha Man driver get past the Haas. Honey Badger also kind of relatively close as well to Nightshades as well, so we'll have to keep an eye on those battles as well. But our main focus still is Harry B and Kaiser, 2 championship rivals right now. Harry B and Kaiser, both 3 and 2 respectively, and Harry B has about a 30-something lead on Kaiser. So it's a situation where Harry B, finishing where he is right now, will lose 5 points to Kaiser, but the gap will still be very big. So it's a situation where Harry B doesn't want to force it, because if he forces a pass and he ends up spinning, it could cost him more points than he's probably willing to risk. And with no pressure away from Bahadal, it's a situation where Harry B is looking good. So how aggressive will Harry B make in this pass? Because he knows if he passes him, it's 5 more points on the gap, but he doesn't want to risk ruining the race. But it looks like he thought about doing there. He got a very aggressive run up after 130R there. Definitely was thinking about going the hairpin there, but just nowhere to make a pass. But I sense a pass maybe happening soon here. Gap has grown from the lead from Scott the Kaiser to 1.8. And here comes Harry B, sensing championship right here. He is going to make the pass, going off into 1. He will successfully pass Kaiser. So put Harry B up to second, Kaiser down to third, especially with the ERS there. It's easily makes sense that Harry B was going to make that pass work. Bottle down to fourth. So, oh, sorry, Bottle's still in fourth, you could say. But yes, so Kaiser going to have to try to counter back here. Probably wants to save some of his ERS. With 3 to go, he really wants to kind of bide his time here and make it work. But it looks like he got a snap of understeer there off the corner, and that's going to cost him at least half a second. That's going to allow Bottle to close up a little bit as well. So Kid Kaiser just metaphorically shoot himself in the foot there with that slight mistake. He's not out of the DRS range yet, but it is going to sense blood in the water. As now Bottle, sensing an opportunity to make something happen here, going to close up on Kaiser and maybe make a pass happen sooner rather than later, as Kaiser is just barely staying in DRS range. He needs to stay close, or else any chance of second may fall to the wayside. But it just looks like it's not going to be enough for Kaiser. Again, maybe he's struggling on those tires. He did go for the 1 lap undercut on the field ahead of him, so he's got 1 lap older tires than Scott, Kaiser, and Bottle respectively, but they shouldn't be that worn per se, at least from the rivals around him. Looks like he's able to pull a little away from Bottle, but the gap is 1.2 to Harry B, so he will not get DRS off the onto the long straight, you could say. And that may be curtains for Kaiser getting second, bearing Harry B getting a cutting penalty. And there we go. We got 2 laps to go. Harry B now pushing hard here. He's now sensing he can get to Scott. He's within 1 second already. Conti gets 3 for multiple warnings. So now the question of the day is, will Bottle be able to catch Kaiser for third? And can Harry B catch Scott for the win? He is flying in that Honda. And it looks like he is getting closer and closer by the second. The gap was 1.2. Crossing the line, it was then 8/10. And probably looking at that pace, it'll probably be about 6 to 5/10 next time by catching Scott. But it's not going to be enough to make a move on that hairpin. So he's going to have to sense a move as Charlie Harris now sits the fast lap of the race on his fresher softs, which makes sense, as he looks like he's going to pass Conti for 12, looking at the scorecard on the right. Again, Harry B in his Red Bull trying to reel in, because right now he'd only get a 5-point advantage on Kaiser, but if he does win this race, he will end up extending that gap to 10. So put 10 more already on a big gap, and we're looking at about probably 50 points separating Scott and Kaiser with 3 rounds to go. Oh, sorry, going to the second race, and then 3 rounds to go. So here we go. Coming to 130R, then we'll start the final lap. Harry B within 6/10. He's got to get just a bit closer. There is a car up the head there. It looks like it's going to be the Red Bull of Bob O'Reilly. Ghosting is on, but he may inadvertently help Scott by giving him DRS. I don't think he's close enough to get DRS, though. So it's going to be Harry B with a run here. Going to use all his ERS. He's about 40% ERS. Scott only got 6 left, so Harry B is going to be a lot faster on the straight. So you can see the blinking light of Scott. Will Harry B go for it? He's going to get a very toe. Not enough to try to throw it up the inside there. Just a little bit of a longer straight, and that would have been Harry B's lead, presumably, or at the very least, he's making a move. He'll tuck in line, though, and he's going to try to make one more attempt here. He'll probably have a chance to throw something up 130R. ERS at least states it's going to be close. Kaiser still ahead of ARD Bottle. Foxy Red has not joined the show, so it looks like that is the Red Bull of Harry B I was looking at. So Charlie Harris sits the fast lap of the race again, so he will get 1 extra point to help the constructors, but can Scott hold on? Going to the hairpin here, I don't think Harry B's crazy enough to make a breaking point, but it looks like he's more aggressive than Scott on the brakes. It's not going to be enough. He's going to get very close, though, within 3 attempts. 2 attempts. A little bit of a poor exit, though, by Harry B. He's going to get a little bit bottled down the long straight. Gap is still 4 attempts. So here we go. Can Harry B make something happen here? He's going to come down the long run, going to break it in. He's going to have 130R. This last straight is probably his last chance going into the hairpin. ERS is about 50 for Harry B. Scott's at 16. So Harry B should be faster in the straights, but it's half a second here. Can he make it work? It looks like he's just a little bit too far away. Can he get the toe? 4, 3, it's just not going to be enough unless he goes very bearing into the hairpin. He thinks about it, but it's not going to be enough. And Scott, as long as he doesn't loop it here, he will hold on. Thanks to his teammate, Charlie Harris, you could say he had the pace, but Scott will win this race. Harry B will be in second. Kaiser hard into the wall there. Going to finish third. Almost takes Bottle, too. Bottle fourth. Foxy Red fifth. Bit of a kind of a chain wreck here, as Foxy Chicken's going to come home in 6th. Nathan's going to cross the line in 7th. Then we're going to have Bashiro going to come home in 8th. Then we're going to have Honey Badger going to come home in 9th. Nightshade should come home in 10th. Presumably, we'll see where the penalties slot up. He'll be 10th. the Alfa Romeo driver. Big kind of mistake there. But Charlie Harris running no Pez actually will jump both. So Harris will be 10th, Nightshades will be 11th, Alfa Romeo will be 12th, Kermit should come up 13th, and Bob O'Reilly is you could say a trooper for hanging on here, but won't actually be able to jump Conti because him being 1 lap down, he'll finish 15th, and Kermit will come home in 13th. So that is the end of race 1. Don't go anywhere because we do have another qualifying race right after this race. But right now, looking at the penalties, looking at the points again, just to quickly check it one more time, as Nathan will get driver of the day. As you can see, ARD Scott, good finish here today, but again, very far back in the standings. He needed something bad to happen to Harry, and with Harry finishing second, it's just not going to be enough to really jump him. But checking the standings real fast, the gap going into this was, doing quick math, 26 points with 5 points for Harry B finishing ahead of Kaiser. It's 26 plus 5, so the gap grows to 31. And Scott, winning this race, will be able to close 5 in on Harry, but will be able to get 10 on Kaiser. So, again, he is closing in on Kaiser, but that gap will grow. So it's 30 between Harry and Kaiser, and it is 66 points from Scott to Harry B with now the 5 added. That will be 61. So Harry has a 31-point lead over Kaiser and a 61 lead over Scott at the end of the first race. But we still have one more race to go here, so all is still to play for. If Harry B does have a bad race, that could allow Kaiser re-close up, or it also could allow ARD Scott to make it a little bit closer. But there's your final results here. Just a quick run over as we're about to finish here. There you go. Look, if you have a driver at the screen, find where he is, and that will be that. So I'm going to take a quick 1-second pause, and we will come back to you when qualifying is about to begin. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Anyway, back we are here again for race 2 and qualifying 2. So hopefully you enjoyed that little break there. Played some smooth jazz, you could say, in your headset. But anyway, here we go again. Another qualifying here. The question is, can some of the drivers take what they learned and use it for the second race here? For starters, we know the undercut is 1 lap stronger, but you could also still be under pressure from getting it. So the undercut would get you position, but if you can't take advantage of it, you may end up still getting swallowed by the field. Mediums to softs. We'll see if anyone tries to go from the mediums to the softs, and how many drivers will abandon that and go soft to mediums. So anyway, here we go. Loading complete. Should be still a nice dry race. Yes, it is, because there's no rain on. I'll have 30 seconds to go. Then we'll have a qualifying run, and then a race, and that will be that. So we are now just waiting. People loading in their setups, getting situated, deciding what tires to be on, what tires they should run. Coming down with 15 seconds left on the clock here. Getting those, even though we already did a race, you could say getting those pre-race jitters out. On that, I can't really, I guess I could quickly, all right, we're going to have to quickly, crap. All right, give me 1 second here. Got to quickly invite, you're going to miss the first second qualifying here. Someone did just get kicked, if it ever decides to load. So sorry about this. Just got to quickly do the technicalities here. Oh, he's already got an invite, so we're good. All right, so back to qualifying here. Sorry about that little distraction there. He needed an invite. He should be back and ready to go now because he says he's still in the session. So we'll go back to the qualifying here. We got Fox Red currently leading the way, going up through the S section. We got Nightshades, and we got Nightshades, Fox Red, 1, 2, and Funky Chicken. and Bottle 4th, Bob O'Reilly 5th. I don't think these times are 100% accurate. We'll see it probably jump once we get to the end of Sector 1 here. So we're going to probably see what happens here if Nightshade's still on pole. No, it's not. Actually, Nightshade's is second. So points to Nightshade. He is P1. So Kaiser's now leading the way. Scott in second. Labuta in third. Nightshade's in fourth. Charlie Harris in fifth. Fox Red in sixth. Harry B in seventh. Funky Chicken in eighth. Mount down to ninth, you could say. Kaiser's still leading the way with Scott in second. Labuta in third. And Nightshade's in fourth, fighting Harris. So we're going to see here if he can make something happen here. Kaiser and Scott. Labuta's still there. He was pretty fast on one pace qualifying, but did struggle during the race. We'll see if he's got that readjusted. The driver has rejoined, so good for him. So Kaiser leads the way. Scott in second. Can Scott take pole position here? Harry B down in fifth. I may think he is on a different change of tires, so quickly check that. Yes, no, he actually is on the... Actually, I was going to say he's on the softs, but that's Charlie Harris. If I ever can get down to sixth... this thing is so buggy. But anyway, fifth to the run. He is on a set of softs, though. Run to the line. It's going to be Kaiser taking pole position. Scott in second. Labuta in third. Harris fourth. Harry B in fifth. Fox Red in sixth. Funky Chicken in seventh. Bottle in eighth. Berserk in ninth. Nightshade in 10th. Mike in 10th. Shiro 11th. Kermit 12th. Honey Badger will come home in 14th. And Conti 15th. And that will be the end of qualifying there. So 15 drivers will actually not get disqualified. So a lot of drivers... Okay, 14... Yeah, 14, because 2 ended up not making it, so... But that will be that for qualifying. A little bit of a bungle, you could say. Had to try to get the invite, and someone else invited him, and... Yeah, you know. But anyway, Kaiser takes pole position. Scott in second. Labuta in third. Harris fourth. Harry B fifth. Foxy Red sixth. Funky Chicken seventh. ARD Bottle eighth. Berserk ninth. Nightshade 10th. Mike 11th. Bashir 12th. Kermit 13th. Honey Badger 14th. Conti 15th. And Bob O'Reilly will come off at 16th. 2 drivers qualified in the mediums. That was Honey Badger and Mashiro. Everyone else decided to take a set of softs for the run here. And, yeah. That will be that. So, we'll now get ready for the race. Can Kaiser hold on to his pole position this time and actually win this race? Harry B did have a little bit of a poor qualifying here, but we do know he's fast in the race. So we'll have to see what he could do in that Red Bull. But that is what Scott and Kaiser want to see. Charlie Harris also having good qualifying as well in 4th. So we will get ready for the race. So here we go, getting ready to start here. Gonna have 30 more seconds, getting cars bouncing on the grid as always. Just so interesting. But anyway, last minute adjustments. If you're outside the top 10, we saw a lot of drivers go for the mediums here. We'll see how many drivers still stick to that strategy. We know Mashiro and Funky Chicken qualified outside on the medium, so they can switch to a set of softs if they so choose, please. We'll have to wait and see what they decide to do. So here we go. 15 seconds left. Last minute adjustments. Can't change the setup, obviously, because of Park from A. But you can make some strategy changes or just get ready to get yourself well adjusted. So anyway, here we go for the runoff to the line here. Quick check of what tires everyone is on. Mike and Mashiro on mediums. We got Honey Badger, Conti, and Bob O'Reilly. So Mashiro and Honey Badger staying on the mediums, while Mike, Conti, and Bob O'Reilly will join. The only driver outside the top 10 that's selected to go for a set of softs is Kermit. So a bit of an odd choice here. You think he would have went for the mediums, but again, you never know. So it looks like Nightshade has been collided with Mike. So Mike again, second race to go. Row, he'll be sitting on the naughty stool. And we'll have to see how he situates up. So, yeah. So here we go again. One more time for feeling this time. Some narratives you could say during the race here is, can Kaiser take the win? After you could say kind of struggled in the first race. Scott, can he make it back-to-backs? Can the Alfa Romeo driver actually get off the line right and actually be able to stay up in the top front? Can Charlie Harris, again, be able, without having that spin, be able to stay up to the front? Harry B, can he make a recovery drive? Foxy Red, looking to do good along Funky Chicken. Bottle, trying to get on the podium, trying to get off onto the podium after last race. He was Bottle trying to get on the podium after not being on the podium last race, finishing 4th, and the rest of the field looking to get some good points here today. So yeah, Back to the front here. Kaiser about to cross the line here and get set up. Just going to pull into the grid here. Scott in second and Labuta in third. Just checking some scores here. Sorry for a little bit of the pause here. You'll have my whole attention once the race starts. Just checking some quick sports scores here. Just checking the stuff before the game starts here as well. And we will be ready to go. And there we go. All right. So last driver is going to line up in here today. Can Honda get a victory on their, you could say, home soil? Can the Japanese driver get a win here today? Mashiro will have to wait and see on that front. But we got 13 laps to settle it. Last driver lining up here. And we are ready. So strap yourself in and we'll be ready to go with 13 more laps of Japanese GP Part 2, you could say. So anyway, lap 2 out of 13. I hope the game did not glitch while 1. Really hope Kermit rejoining did not screw everything up. I think it may have. So we're going to be sitting here waiting. Yeah, I think everything's been screwed up here, sadly. So hopefully, it is going to be, it is a problem right now. Yeah, the game is glitched. So we're going to have a lobby reset here, most likely. Unless the offender, which may be Kermit, because Kermit did rejoin. So yeah, I think we'd be looking for a lobby reset here. So yeah, I guess hold on tight unless it fixes itself. Yep, we're getting a new lobby invite here. So yep, please hold on. Yep, new lobby. So yep, host leaving. Think the game crashed. Yep, so the stream probably just ended. Or it may still be going. Yep, game just crashed. Fun.